Coming up, the world's largest 4x4s go head-to-head. The shootout is next.
I imagine you've noticed that 4x4s just keep getting bigger and stronger. That is certainly true of the Dodge Ram. But it's also true for the Yamaha Grizzly that's almost large enough to pass for a Jeep. Well, all this raises some interesting choices for a sportsman and sets up a comparison test for us. Make it the world's largest pickup versus the world's biggest ATV. Our Ram Tester is the biggest beast in the 4x4 business, short of a dually. The new quad cab, the first with 4 doors, sitting on the 2500 chassis with the short box out back and the 8-liter V10 in front, weighs 5,800 pounds, just a hair less than 3 tons. The Grizzly is much smaller, but it's the biggest of its kind, with a grill guard and headlights that will have you thinking GI Jeep. The Yamaha tips the scales at 640 pounds. We mentioned we had the torque monster in the Dodge, the 8-liter V10, cranking up 300 horses and 450 foot-pounds of torque. The Yamaha runs a 595cc overhead cam air-cooled single, making 31 horses and 28 foot-pounds of torque. That sounds like a total mismatch, but the Dodge barely ekes out a win with 19.5 pounds per horsepower to the Yamaha's 20.6 pounds per horsepower. It's close, but it is advantage Dodge. The drivetrains are quite similar. Both the Yamaha and the Dodge run drive shafts to the rear. Both have live rear axles and drum brakes in back. In front, the Dodge also uses a live axle with disc brakes, but the Yamaha runs independent front suspension with struts and hydraulic discs. The Dodge has shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive, and so does the Yamaha. Punch the button when you need front-wheel bite. There is one big difference: ground clearance. The super-tall Ram clears 8.6 inches underneath. The Grizzly, with its smaller tires, has 2 more inches of clearance. In standing tall, it is advantage Yamaha. Cargo carrying with the Grizzly means using the racks, rated at 275 pounds, with optional gun racks to carry your rifle up front. Well, it's a no-brainer that the Dodge will haul more in back, and it will carry your rifle and gear with greater security. Just flip the seat and load it in. In cargo capacity, it is advantage Dodge. In the backcountry, the Ram is a 4x4 monster. It will storm up rutted hills and run through rivers of mud with ease. With all that weight and all the torque from the V10, it's a case of choosing your gear and cruising through. Of course, the Yamaha will do just the same, with the tractor tread Dunlops getting a major bite on the ground. And even without a cab, a Grizzly rider still stays dry and clean thanks to oversized fenders and full floorboards, unusual for an ATV. In our test, the Yamaha had no trouble going everywhere the Dodge did, but eventually go deep enough and it will get too steep and too thick for any truck. And that's when the Grizzly wins. The power and weight and maneuverability will take it way beyond the limits of the world's strongest truck. If your hunting spot is over that next hill, you're either walking or choosing the Grizzly. In deep woods mobility, it clearly is advantage Yamaha. And finally, there's price. As tested, our Monster Ram is $31,000. The Grizzly is $64,995. So what's the conclusion to all this? Well, how about that each of these wins in their respective areas of expertise, and that the well-equipped sportsman will have a Grizzly and a Ram. Together, they're a team of hard-working animals that will take you farther into the backcountry to bring back that other animal, your 10-point trophy buck.